Your mind isn't loud because it's broken. It's loud because it's untrained. Think about your mornings. You open your eyes, and before you even stand up, your brain is already sprinting. Notifications, half-remembered dreams, to-do lists, what someone said yesterday. Within minutes, it feels like standing in a crowded marketplace where every thought screams for attention, and you can't tell which one to listen to. You're not tired, you're cluttered. 2,000 years ago, Marcus Aurelius faced the same problem, except his distractions weren't pings and deadlines. They were wars, betrayals, plagues. And yet, in the middle of that chaos, he wrote Meditations, notes to himself on how to think clearly when the world made no sense. Marcus didn't control his mind. He organized it. He built a method, simple, repeatable, brutally honest, to quiet the noise and see what truly mattered. And if he could do that while running an empire, you can do it while running your life. By the end of this video, you'll learn his exact method and the final step, the one Marcus said separates a wise mind from a restless one. Chapter 1. The Battlefield of the Mind. You've had that moment, hours after an argument, still replaying every word in your head. You imagine what you should have said, what they really meant, how you could have won. But you're not arguing with them anymore, you're arguing with yourself. Marcus Aurelius knew this battle well. 2,000 years ago he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you'll find strength." Even as emperor, he understood that the real war wasn't against people, politics, or fate. It was against his own looping thoughts. Modern neuroscience now backs him up. Overthinking doesn't happen because we have too many thoughts. It happens because we give all thoughts equal weight. Your brain can't tell the difference between what matters and what doesn't, so it hands every idea a megaphone. Marcus's first rule for clarity was simple. Separate what's yours from what's not. He'd write his thoughts down and strike through anything beyond his control. Rumors, opinions, insults, outcomes. What remained were the things he could actually act on. Try this tonight. Write down every thought crowding your mind, then cross out everything you can't change by tomorrow. That quiet you feel afterward? That's not emptiness, that's clarity. Because peace doesn't come from silencing your mind. It comes from refusing to argue with things you can't control. Chapter 2. The Filter of Reality. Imagine your mind as a river. Thoughts rush through it, some calm and clear, others muddy and full of debris. Most people drink from it blindly, never realizing how polluted the water has become. But Marcus Aurelius didn't. He built a filter. In his meditations, he constantly asked himself one question. Is this true? Or is this just my opinion? That single sentence became his mental armor. Every rumor, fear, or insult had to pass through that filter before it was allowed to shape his mood. Today, we scroll through feeds that feed us, opinions disguised as facts, emotions disguised as truth. We absorb outrage, comparison, and noise without pause. Marcus would have stopped before reacting, not to suppress emotion, but to examine it. Psychologists now call this cognitive diffusion. Stepping back from your thoughts instead of drowning in them. Saying, "I'm anxious" makes you sink deeper. Saying, "I notice I'm anxious" pulls you to the shore. Marcus's rule was simple. Turn opinions into observations. "They hate me" becomes "they disagreed." "I failed" becomes "that didn't work yet." Your language reshapes your reality. So here's your experiment. For 24 hours, challenge every conclusion your mind makes. Ask, "Is this true?" You'll realize most of your stress wasn't truth. It was fiction you believed. The clearer your lens, the calmer your world. Chapter 3. The Journal as a Weapon. Here's the twist. Meditations were never meant to inspire the world. It was Marcus Aurelius's private therapy session, written only for himself. Every night before sleep, he emptied his thoughts onto parchment. Mistakes, impulses, pride, fear, and examined each like a surgeon studying his own mind. He didn't write to remember his day. He wrote to understand it. Modern psychology now proves what Marcus knew intuitively. Journaling externalizes emotion, shifting it from the emotional centers of the brain to the analytical ones. It turns chaos into structure, and structure into calm. Marcus didn't vent. He investigated. When anger appeared, he'd ask, "What expectation did this break?" When fear surfaced, he'd ask, "Is this pain permanent or just my perspective?" Try this tonight. The Marcus Method Journal. Write 3 things that disturbed you today. For each one, ask, "Was this within my control?" Then write the smallest action you can take tomorrow. You're not journaling your life, you're editing your mind. Think of your brain like a desk. Marcus cleaned his every night, so each morning began with space to think clearly. You can't expect deep thought in a cluttered workspace. You can't command your thoughts if you never sit down to face them. Chapter 4. The Discipline of Perspective. Marcus Aurelius practiced a simple yet powerful exercise called the view from above. Whenever he felt overwhelmed, he'd close his eyes and imagine himself rising above Rome, seeing the streets, the noise, the chaos shrinking below him. From that higher view, every argument, insult, and fear became small, almost laughably so. He used this visualization to reset his mind. He'd ask, "Does this still matter from up here?" Most of the time, the answer was no. This wasn't escapism, it was proportion. Modern psychology calls it psychological distancing, the ability to zoom out and see your problems without being consumed by them. Soldiers, surgeons, and athletes use this technique to stay calm under pressure. When you step back, emotion loses its grip and reason returns. Try it next time you're caught in mental noise. Picture the camera pulling away from you, your room, your city, your country, your planet. You're one human on a spinning blue sphere, worrying about words that will vanish in a week. That's not nihilism, that's clarity. Marcus said, "Don't let your mind be ruled by what will soon be forgotten." When you step back, you realize most things fade, but your principles, your choices, your calm endure. Rise above your problems and they'll shrink to the size they actually are. Chapter 5. The Practice of Stillness. Clarity isn't just mental, it's physical. Marcus Aurelius began his mornings in silence long before the city awoke. No soldiers, no advisors, no noise, just him, his breath, and his thoughts. In those quiet minutes, he found something that most of us never do: space between stimulus and response. He understood something science would confirm centuries later. You can't think clearly in a body that's always reacting. When your nervous system is in fight or flight mode, your brain stops seeking truth and starts seeking safety. It's not reasoning, it's surviving. Marcus's ritual was simple: still body, still breath, clear mind. Even 2 minutes of silence, breathing deeply, or repeating a line like, "Let me see things as they are," rewired the noise into order. Try this tomorrow. Before touching your phone, sit still and ask yourself one question: what truly deserves my attention today? Not your inbox, not your worries, just your attention. Over time, this practice builds the muscle of clarity. Your thoughts stop reacting and start choosing. Marcus wasn't a monk on a mountaintop. He was an emperor buried in responsibility. If he could find stillness, what's stopping you? You can't expect a calm mind while feeding the storm that keeps it restless. Here's the truth Marcus Aurelius lived by: a clear mind isn't one without noise, it's one that knows which voices to ignore. You've learned his system for clarity. Separate what's yours. Filter what's true. Write it down. Zoom out. Practice stillness. 5 simple steps. Not to become stoic, but to become stable. Try one tonight. Before bed, write down what bothered you today. Then cross out everything that wasn't within your control. What's left is your real life, not the one you imagined, feared, or replayed. You'll fall asleep lighter. And tomorrow morning, don't scroll, don't rush. Sit in silence, breathe once, and ask yourself, what deserves my attention today? That's how Marcus ruled an empire, not with emotion, but with clarity. And that's how you can rule your own mind. If this helped you untangle your thoughts, the next one will take you even deeper. Subscribe, because next time, we'll explore the discipline that builds an unbreakable mind. Marcus once said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." Now you finally know how to choose them.